Imagine a world filled with joy, magic, and unforgettable characters. That's the exact world Walt Disney created with magical precision. Walt Disney is more than just a name. He's an American legend whose influence resonates across generations. With beloved characters, timeless films, and enchanting theme parks, he created a world where imagination reigns supreme and every dream feels within reach. Through his work, Walt didn't just entertain. He ignited a spark of hope and nostalgia in the hearts of millions, reminding us all of the inner child that yearns for joy and wonder. Today, his prowess in almost bringing imagination to life is well represented by his company that stands as one of the most iconic in the world, valued at an astounding $130 billion. But before he reached these formidable heights, his journey began in a much darker place, homeless, with just $40 to his name. Okay, let's not get ahead of ourselves, but the main question here is, how did this dreamer rise from such humble beginnings to redefine the landscape of entertainment? To find out, make sure to watch till the end. This is the full story of how Walt Disney, a homeless boy, invented Disney. Chapter 1: Early Life and Childhood Struggles. Walt Disney was born in 1901 in Chicago and grew up on a farm in Marceline, Missouri. His father, Elias Disney, was a hard-working man who failed at many ventures and became harsh, cold, and even violent towards his children. The Disney family had 5 children: Herb, Ray, Roy, Walt, and Ruth. 2 of Walt's brothers, Herb and Ray, ran away due to their father's abusive behavior. Walt's early exposure to drawing came when his sister Ruth fell ill, and he entertained her by creating animations on flipbooks. As a child, Walt had little time to play due to his responsibilities working for his father's newspaper business in Kansas City. Elias forced Walt to deliver newspapers before dawn but refused to pay him. Despite the tough circumstances, Walt found joy in drawing and began dreaming of becoming a cartoonist. Chapter 2: Love for Entertainment and Early Inspirations. Walt's love for entertainment blossomed after meeting his classmate Walt Pfeiffer, whose family introduced him to vaudeville shows and motion pictures. This exposure made him eager to pursue art and entertainment, but his father disapproved, considering it a waste of time. After his third brother, Roy, left home due to Elias' violent tendencies, Walt took on more responsibilities and suffered abuse himself. At the age of 14, Walt decided to become a cartoonist after a series of hardships, including a painful injury where a horseshoe nail pierced his foot. Despite having to work various jobs to help his family, he nurtured his love for drawing. Walt eventually moved back to Chicago, but when World War I broke out, he lied about his age and joined the Red Cross as an ambulance driver. After surviving an influenza epidemic in France, he returned home, determined to forge his own path. Chapter 3: Career Beginnings and Early Failures. Walt moved to Kansas City to pursue a career in cartooning, but he struggled to find work as a cartoonist. When both the Kansas City Star and Kansas City Journal rejected him, his brother Roy advised him to find practical work, but Walt persisted. He finally landed an apprenticeship at an art studio where he met Ab Iwerks, a talented artist with whom he would form a lifelong collaboration. Together, they briefly started a business called Disney Iwerks, which quickly failed. Walt then got a job at the Kansas City Film Lab Company, where he learned animation techniques. Eager to innovate, Walt started experimenting with hand-drawn animation, a method he believed looked more realistic than the cutouts his company used. After creating 300 feet of film in his garage, he presented his work to a local theater, which became a hit. He then started his first animation studio, Laugh-O-Gram Films, where he produced 6 animated fairy tale cartoons. Unfortunately, Laugh-O-Gram went bankrupt after a major client went under, leaving Walt homeless. Desperate and disillusioned, Walt sold his camera and headed to Hollywood with just $40, intending to become a film director. Chapter 4: Mickey Mouse and the Birth of Disney. After struggling to find work in Hollywood, Walt's fortunes began to change when he convinced his brother Roy and Ab Iwerks to join him in a new animation venture. Together, they created Alice's Wonderland, a successful series featuring live action and animation. However, it was their creation of Oswald the Lucky Rabbit for Universal Pictures that initially propelled Walt into the spotlight. Yet disaster struck again when Charles Mintz, a distributor for Universal, secretly hired away most of Walt's animation team and took control of the rights to Oswald. It was a devastating blow, but Walt didn't give up. He famously vowed to own every character he created going forward. From this failure, Walt and Ub created Mickey Mouse. Their first Mickey cartoon, Steamboat Willie, was revolutionary as it was the first animated short film with synchronized sound. Released in 1928, it became an instant sensation, but Walt's financial troubles continued when a distributor, Pat Powers, withheld the profits from Mickey Mouse, owing Walt hundreds of thousands of dollars. Even though Walt didn't pursue legal action due to Powers' influence in Hollywood, this betrayal pushed Walt to seek better deals elsewhere. Chapter 5: Innovating and Creating Classic Films. Walt began pushing boundaries in animation. Against his brother Roy's advice, he decided to produce a full-color, full-length animated feature film, something no one had done before. The project was Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs, and many in the industry ridiculed it, calling it Disney's folly. They predicted the film would bankrupt the company. Despite all odds, in 1937, Snow White was released and became an enormous success, grossing over $8 million, which would be over $100 million today. The success of Snow White allowed Walt to pay off debts and reinvest in his studio. However, tragedy struck when his mother Flora passed away from asphyxiation due to a furnace leak in the home Walt had bought for her. The loss weighed heavily on him, and despite new projects, the financial losses from films like Pinocchio and Fantasia pushed the company to the brink of bankruptcy. To survive, Walt had to scale down operations, and eventually, the company went public in 1940. Chapter 6: Disneyland. Despite financial difficulties, Walt was always looking toward the future. After visiting various amusement parks, he came up with the idea for Disneyland. His vision was for a place where families could have fun together. When Walt pitched the idea to his board, they were skeptical, as the company had never been in the amusement park business. But Walt convinced them that Disneyland would be unique and could be a great success. Walt secured funding for Disneyland by launching a television series on ABC, which became highly popular. After facing early operational difficulties and media criticism, Disneyland quickly turned into a massive success, drawing millions of visitors. Walt's dream of creating a magical place for families had come true, and it marked a major turning point for the Disney Company. Chapter 7: Legacy. Walt Disney's success was not an easy journey. He faced numerous failures, betrayals, and hardships along the way, but his determination, creativity, and belief in his ideas helped him overcome these challenges. In the video, Walt's success is summarized through his personal mantra, that is, curiosity, confidence, courage, and constancy, with confidence being the most important. Walt believed that you must believe in your ideas fully and wholeheartedly to achieve success. By the end of his career, Walt Disney had become a popular name, and his company had grown into one of the largest, if not the largest, in the entertainment industry of the world, valued at an estimated $130 billion. Today, Disneyland is called the happiest place on earth. And the Walt Disney Company continues to thrive, built on the vision of a man who refused to give up, even when the odds were stacked against him. What special trait and mindset do you think should be adopted from Walt Disney in order to succeed in life? Share with us down in the comments section. Be sure to give this video a like and subscribe for more content. Thanks for watching, and remember to check out our other videos on various interesting topics. Till next time, stay blessed.